Hello there, and welcome to another Media Theorist recap video. Reminder, as always, that the lesson slides are available on the Google site, and in it there will be a number of tasks that I would like you to complete, especially if you are participating in this lesson for the first time, perhaps having missed it through illness, or maybe you are revising this concept for the exam. So this is the Richard Dyer star power or star theory lesson. I will start it with a little bit of retrieval. We have in the past also used Richard Dyer when discussing stereotypes. For example, he said that those with power can stereotype those with less power. We've seen this in tabloid newspapers, for example, when certain demographics are represented in a certain way. So, lesson aims. By the end of this recap lesson, hopefully you will be able to identify and analyse star power and determine examples of Richard Dyer's star power archetypes, and then apply this knowledge to structure a response to a Unit 1 exam question. So, Richard Dyer said, stars are constructed images. That word constructed is important. It's acknowledging that these that stars are manufactured, mediated, and the image of a star is controlled quite heavily and quite particularly in terms of how they present that image to their audiences or to their fans. So, a task for you to do, first of all, and pause this video to allow you to make some notes and do this. What are the characteristics of a star? Think about adjectives and describing words that you might use to describe a star or a famous celebrity. Think about the connotations, the conventions, the associations, the expectations that you might have of that individual. I'll let you pause the video and have a go at this on your own, but there is a slide of stimulus on the next slide should you need to use that, and I'll go to that slide now. So, for example, there may well be some of these celebrities in your argument there that you are acknowledging that quality may well lead to success, and individuals who have been successful in their industry, who are perhaps selling a lot of records or making a lot of movies that are box office successes, or perhaps have won competitions or won acting awards. Okay, these are individuals who are consistently perhaps at the top of their game. You might hear them referred to as A-listers, and that means they are bankable over time. They are also usually void of any kind of controversy. And arguably this is time sensitive because most of these individuals will have been successful stars for most, if not all, of their career. But any one of them are capable of perhaps moving to another slide later on in the video, where we might consider them controversial or perhaps having fallen from grace. And maybe you might want to look at that slide and identify who perhaps that may have been recently. So, Richard Dyer adopts a system where he acknowledges different stars can be assigned a different archetype within the theory of star power or star theory, similar to Prop and his archetypes of narrative fairy tales. So we have the good Joe, we've got the tough guy, we've got the pin-up, we've got the rebel, and we've got the independent woman. Perhaps go back to that slide and acknowledge which ones would you put under which heading. So which of those celebrities would you consider the independent woman? Which of those celebrities would you consider a pin-up? Which of those celebrities would you consider the tough guy, the good Joe? So that might be another task to consider and pause the video and do now. To go back to that phrase, star power, stars are constructed images, okay? Richard Dyer acknowledges that these stars are in control of this image and they will mediate that and they will control that quite particularly, okay? So how and where do stars construct their image? How do they control and manipulate and project that image outward into their fan base? I'll let you consider those questions now for a moment, so pause the video to allow you to do that. Perhaps some of these answers may well have came up. So things like the red carpet. They'll attend the big Oscar ceremony, the award shows, okay? They will participate in the Met Gala, for example. They will turn up to these fashion shows, catwalks, Oscars award shows, Met Gala, in expensive suits and dresses. They will construct their image. They are wearing a costume when they appear in public. They will mediate their appearance through appearances on chat shows and magazine front covers and double-page spreads and articles, and perhaps also control their image via social media. We can then talk about the risks associated with star power. Okay, we've already touched upon the concept that a star could perhaps be considered an A-lister. But then we've got what's referred to as Z-list celebrities. There's a hierarchy of star power. There's a top and there's a bottom. And you can fall from the top or you can rise to the top. And that might be something to consider. So what are some risks with star power and star theory in the media landscape? I'll let you pause the video and consider that question. But again, there are some stimulus on the second slide, should you need it. So for example, there are some celebrities here who may well in the past have been considered an A-list bankable star, but may have experienced some sort of controversy that has tarnished that image. Perhaps if you're not aware of some of those references, you might want to go away and look those up. So things like Lindsay Lohan, Kevin Spacey, Mel Gibson, Britney Spears, okay, Russell Brand, Charlie Sheen, Luis Suarez, Jeremy Clarkson, and Ant from Ant and Dec. Consider the impact some of Ant's problems had on Dec. That might be something to consider. You can see how star power affected Dec and his image, and how some of the controversies that Ant experienced were passed on to Dec, and that may well be something to consider. So that might be something to pause the video and do a little bit of research and make some notes about. That was perhaps the answer to the question. I'm kind of sitting on top of the image there a little bit, but I'm sure you can see Will Smith there, who perhaps may well have experienced some controversy recently at the Oscars, which might mean that he might have moved to this slide rather than the bankable A-lister that he perhaps was before the Oscar ceremony this year. There's another risk with star power, and there's a video, a stand-up sketch from Rich Hall, which I often use in lessons to showcase this. I'll let you play and pause this video in your own time. But ultimately, he acknowledges that star power leads to repetitiveness. It's formulaic, it's predictable, and audiences can become fatigued with that. Okay? They can spot the patterns. And he talks about the fact that most Tom Cruise films become predictable, follow a pattern, and audiences will get tired. Okay. Here's a clip that you could perhaps use in an exam situation. A question could be, how is star power being used in the clip? So again, I'll let you pause the video. I'll let you go to the Google site and play that video, make some notes, and perhaps then answer that question. A reminder then, to summarise, Richard Dyer does say that those with power stereotype those with less power. We have in the past used this to look at how certain demographics are stigmatised by those with power, tabloids, the news, and those who don't have power aren't able to control the stereotype that is constructed about them. But we can acknowledge that this is still true of celebrities. Celebrities have power. They are powerful individuals. They have influence. And therefore, they are able to use that power to construct an image of themselves that they can control and exploit, perhaps, to gain more power. Okay? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and good luck for the exam.